Well, I think it was inevitable, and I've seen this coming for a long time based on the very few times that I actually watched 5 minutes.
Oh, my God. Can you believe it? Lady Colin Campbell and Tom Bauer have just dropped an absolute bombshell. And it's not just some wild rumor from the tabloids. No, no, no. This is about the real origins of Meghan and Harry's kids, Archie and Lilibet. All those whispered rumors we used to hear behind palace doors, they've just exploded into the public. And guess what? The royal rebels in Montecito are furious. They're scrambling like never before. We're not talking hearsay either. This comes from two of the most relentless, well-connected royal biographers out there. They're not throwing darts in the dark. They've brought timelines, evidence, protocol breaches, and secrets that Harry and Meghan desperately wanted to keep buried forever.
And come to you in a second, Lady C. Tom, what do you think financially for Harry and Meghan? As I just said, I think everybody knows they're at best low-level millionaires.
For a couple who branded themselves as the faces of truth and transparency, this is beyond humiliating. This is their worst nightmare come true. For years, they've sold us this story, the polished Instagram posts, the Netflix glamour, the we're just like you parenting image. But now it's all unraveling because Lady C and Tom Bauer, they've ripped the cover off the one thing Meghan and Harry fought the hardest to protect, the truth behind Archie and Lilibet's births. No more stage perfection, no more press management, just raw, cold facts. And they're not pretty, let's be honest. From the start, Meghan and Harry were dead set on pulling away from the royal family. But it's what they chose to hide that now looks the most damning. Unlike every other royal birth, theirs was, well, completely off script.
Serious financial problems for them, isn't it?
I think the writing is on the wall on this one. I think the world sees this exactly the same. They're living this extravagant lifestyle.
Remember how Archie and Lilibet's births went down? No traditional hospital steps, no polished photos outside the hospital, no smiling doctors giving statements, not even a clear word from palace officials. And now, Lady C and Tom Bauer are connecting the dots, and it's painting a very different picture than the one Meghan and Harry put on display for the world. Let's start with Archie. They said he was born at Portland Hospital in London, but Lady C isn't buying it. She's pointing at major holes in the timeline, no security details recorded, no hospital witnesses, no real confirmation at all. Even worse, some palace insiders now claim Archie wasn't born in the UK. If that turns out to be true...
These people have been relying on this Netflix money. That source of income is going to dramatically dry up very, very soon. The future doesn't look good for them economically, does it?
No, it doesn't. And in fact...
It's not just a lie. It could shake Archie's royal eligibility to the core. Now, Lilibet... That birth was supposed to be their big fresh start, a peaceful California welcome to the world. But nope, even that story doesn't add up. Tom Bauer is now questioning whether the birth certificate was tampered with or intentionally written to fit their media narrative. Why do the details on the certificate not match what Meghan and Harry told the world? And then there's the Queen's name. Meghan claimed they got her blessing to use Lilibet, but palace sources, yes, from inside Buckingham, say that never happened. A name meant to honor the Queen, built on a lie, and wait, where were the royal doctors? The palace reps? Kate and William had all of it. Medical staff, formal announcements, complete protocol. But Meghan and Harry? Nada. Zilch. Lady C is calling this what it is, a deliberate cover-up. They didn't follow protocol because they knew the truth might slip out.
Is busy bigging themselves up in the hope that if they said they were worth X plus Y, Z would pitch in and offer them something commensurate. And
honestly, without any official medical presence or royal traditions, can we blame the public for being skeptical? Remember Meghan's teary interviews, those emotional stories about giving birth while the press hunted her down? How she said the media pressure drove her into hiding? Well, Lady C is calling out the manipulation. She says it's all a made-up sob story. And get this, the media didn't even know Meghan was in labor until after Archie was born. So all that talk of press helicopters stalking photographers? Pure fiction. According to Tom Bauer, this wasn't some innocent mistake. It was calculated rebellion. Meghan wanted to reinvent what it means to be a royal mother. She didn't see tradition. She saw oppression.
Their profits were going to be pegged on what they produced and how well things did. So their payment has never been what people have been making it out.
And Harry? He went along with it, but in doing so, they threw away every shred of accountability that royalty demands. The palace wasn't just annoyed, they were blindsided. And now, with the truth leaking like a busted pipe, their fortress of secrecy might just be the thing that takes them down for good. The world's watching, and this time, they can't just PR spin their way out of it. Coming up next, did Meghan actually shut out the royal doctors? Was using Lilibet a trap to corner the Queen into saying yes? And are Harry and Meghan really trying to silence the people exposing all of this? Because according to Lady C's insider reports,
to see to, and some who have private planes. And she has a reputation for trying to cadge lifts.
Really?
That
That somehow doesn't surprise me. So, Tom, in terms that you and I...
Meghan flat out avoided royal doctors during both pregnancies. And keep in mind, royal protocol requires that births be supervised by palace-approved physicians. But Meghan, she brought in her own private team, doctors that apparently no one in the royal circle had ever heard of. Even worse, she didn't tell palace officials anything until the 11th hour. One insider was quoted saying, "We had no clue what was going on or where she was." That's not empowerment. That's not independence. That's straight up evasion. And the name Lilibet presented to the world like a sweet, loving tribute to the Queen. But Tom Bauer's palace sources insist Harry and Meghan never got formal approval.
Harry's horse-based docu-soap Polo, which was, I did watch it, but it's unwatchable, absolute rubbish. That came in, you're going to like this, in the Netflix charts at...
It's downright disrespectful. Lady C even said the Queen was hurt by it, deeply. Apparently they told her, but they never asked. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was a setup, one that made it impossible for the Queen to say no without looking cold and unloving. That's not tribute, that's emotional blackmail. And let's not forget the photos. The baby pics that came out weeks, sometimes even months, after the births. Meghan claimed it was for privacy, but Lady C and Bauer suggest it was all about dodging scrutiny. They didn't want any palace photographers around for a reason. Tom Bauer says it clearly. The secrecy gave them total control. Every image, every announcement, carefully edited, meticulously planned. A glossy illusion, not royal reality.
$20 million a year. But the problem with these two is they didn't deliver. Netflix looked at the programs they were giving them and said, "This is a pile of crap. We don't want it." That's why their deal has gone down the chute.
And then came another jaw-dropper. Lady C revealed that Archie's birth certificate was edited. At first, Meghan's full name, Rachel Meghan Markle, and her royal title appeared on it. But a few weeks later, poof, Meghan's full name vanished, and all that remained was Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. That's not some clerical tweak, that's a strategic rebrand. Lady C thinks Meghan wanted to scrub off the commoner image, that Markle name, and shine as purely royal. A little PR move to level up in the Hollywood circles, maybe? Well, the palace wasn't having it. They were caught completely off guard, and in a very rare step, royal aides went public. They released a statement saying the palace didn't authorize that change. It came directly from the Sussexes. This wasn't just strange. This was a calculated image cleanup. And now, Meghan and Harry are in total panic mode.
For like the last 2 years, that's all we've heard. $100 million, $100 million. It doesn't work that way. You produce, you get this much. You produce, you get this much. You produce, and then when you don't produce, you don't get nothing.
Sources say their team is going into overdrive, trying to silence Lady C and Tom Bauer. They've allegedly started sending legal threats, pressuring media outlets, and even demanding interviews be taken down from platforms. But it's too late. The damage is done. The questions are out there. The evidence is out in the open. One palace staffer didn't sugarcoat it. They said, "This isn't about privacy anymore. It's about lies and consequences." And that hits hard. Meghan and Harry thought they could rewrite the rules, but instead, they may have rewritten the script for their own downfall. And Lady C and Tom Bauer? They're just getting started. They've promised even more revelations. Meanwhile, the royal family's silence, it's screaming louder than words. Because while Meghan and Harry keep crafting their fairy tale version on Netflix and Instagram, the truth is spilling out in real time. Their wall of secrecy is cracking, Montecito is shaking.
Pretend she was richer and wealthier and a woman of more status than she actually was.
Hold on, Kevin. Correct me if I'm wrong now. We all know Meghan boasted about being...
And now, Meghan and Harry's PR perfect image of hands-on private parents is under siege. Lady C and Tom Bauer have lit a fire under the royal story, and the world isn't just watching anymore. It's questioning everything. In a desperate move to control the chaos, Meghan's legal team has apparently started issuing cease and desist letters left and right. They're targeting British tabloids and online platforms who even dare to echo these claims, but here's the kicker. It's backfiring big time. Instead of killing the rumors, the lawsuits are fueling them. One insider from the Daily Mail reportedly said, "The more they threaten, the more curious we get." For him, this isn't about sibling rivalry anymore. This is about protecting the monarchy. The gloves, they're about to come off. So just when we thought we'd cried all the tears and seen all the tributes, boom! Something hit the internet that completely shattered everyone all over again. A clip. Not just any clip, a behind-the-scenes video from the final season of The Cosby Show, never before seen, never meant to be public, but it got leaked. And the second it hit social media, the world stopped. It wasn't polished, it wasn't professional, just a grainy, shaky video from a crew member's old phone. But what it showed, girl, it was everything. Malcolm, maybe around 20 years old, sitting on a folding chair during a break in filming. He looked tired, like exhausted, head down, eyes low, hands clasped between his knees, just worn. Then out of nowhere, Felicia walks over. She kneels down in front of him, places both hands on his shoulders, and leans in. You can barely hear the audio, but the mic catches her whispering, "You don't need to be perfect to be loved, baby. You just need to be real." And Malcolm, he lifts his head, eyes filled with tears, and says something that broke the internet. "You're the only one who sees me." I mean, what? That line, that heartbreak, that truth. "You're the only one who sees me." People couldn't handle it. They started weeping online. Celebs, therapists, mental health advocates, everyday people, everyone reposted it. It became the final puzzle piece, the confirmation that Malcolm had been carrying invisible pain for years. And the only person who truly saw him was Felicia. Fans immediately began stitching that video together with her eulogy. One viral edit ended with the line, "She saw him when he was alive, and she held him when he was gone." Chills. That clip, just 45 seconds, became the emotional full-circle moment we didn't know we needed. It was like the universe handed us one last glimpse into the sacred bond they shared, not actor to actor, not TV mom to TV son, but soul to soul. And that's what made this whole tribute different. This wasn't just a funeral. It wasn't just a post. This wasn't some sad celeb gossip. This was something bigger. This was real. It was a reminder that behind every face, every strong, smiling face, is a person. A person who might be tired. A person who might feel unseen. A person who might not know how much they matter. And Felicia, she showed us the kind of love that sees through all of that refuses to look away, that holds space, that forgives, that remembers. So why does this tribute matter so much? Because it wasn't just a goodbye, it was a wake-up call to check on the people who seem strong, to love out loud, to be real with each other, and to remind the people we love that they matter before it's too late. Malcolm Jamal Warner may be gone, but through Felicia's words, her love, and that final rose in his hand, his legacy has become something more, a movement, a message, a mirror. So if you're still here, if you're still listening, reach out, hug your people, tell them they matter, say it out loud, because you never know when someone's carrying the weight of the world and hiding it behind a smile. And if someone you love is struggling, don't wait, reach out, tell them they matter, reach out, tell them they